The movie opens with Async Corporation footage from 1990. A terrified researcher named Naren Warren is lost in a massive, sprawling maze of yellow hallways. He radios for help, but nobody answers. A seagull randomly flies out of a corridor. Then, from behind a white door, a massive creature emerges and chases him. He's cornered in a dead-end room. The creature grabs him, he screams, and the footage cuts to black. We pull back to reveal a group of async scientists watching this tape in silence. We meet Clark, the owner of a failing pirate-themed furniture store called Captain Clark's Ottoman Empire in San Jose. Clark is a mess. He's an alcoholic, an angry loner, and a failed architect stuck selling cheap furniture in a pirate costume. He sees a therapist named Dr. Mary Klein, a self-help author with her own unresolved trauma. Through a role-play exercise, we learn that Clark's ex-wife Barbara left him because of his drinking, his cruelty, and his inability to take responsibility for anything. Clark is deeply broken but resistant to change. Meanwhile, Mary has her own baggage. Flashbacks reveal she was raised by an agoraphobic mother who kept her locked inside their house, boarding up the windows and telling her the outside world was dangerous. His electricity bill spikes for no reason. A meter man finds mysterious red switches in the breaker box that aren't connected to anything on the building circuit. One night, Clark shuts off all the switches and notices a sliver of light bleeding through the basement wall. He approaches it, presses against the wall, and falls straight through it. On the other side is a massive, impossible space. Yellow wallpaper, fluorescent lights, copied furniture from his own store, bleached and clipping through the floors and walls. Everything looks like a bad photocopy of reality. Clark has discovered the backrooms, an infinite, underground dimension that remembers the real world, but gets the details slightly wrong. He finds Warren's abandoned equipment bag, an inverted stop sign, and an active surveillance camera. Something is watching him. Clark tries to tell Mary about the backrooms. She doesn't believe him. Frustrated, he recruits two employees Bobby and Cart to help him explore and document it. They're amazed at first. Bobby films everything. Clark leads them deeper, showing them impossible rooms, glitched objects, and a mysterious pool area. Then Clark lowers Bobby on a rope into a steep pit. At the bottom, Bobby finds piles of clothes, including his own shirt. Then he sees a tall creature in the shadows. Bobby panics and screams to be pulled up. They almost get him out, but the creature yanks the rope from below, slamming Bobby against the wall. Despite Clark and Cart fighting to hold on, Bobby is dragged down. His screams are cut short as the creature tears him apart. The rope then pulls the entire bed frame and Clark and Cart into the pit. Clark gets separated. He hears Cart screaming. He never sees Bobby again. Mary drives to his store, finds the hidden entrance, and enters the backrooms to save him. She finds Clark hiding in the dark, but he is no longer the man she knew. He's calm, detached, and completely unhinged. He chokes her unconscious and ties her to a chair. In a horrifying dinner scene, Clark stabs a still life to demonstrate they can't feel pain. He carves out its flesh and eats it. He forces Mary to redo the Barbara role play from therapy, but this time, he wants her to tell him he did nothing wrong. Mary refuses. She snaps and tells him the truth. Everything is his fault, and he knows it. Clark breaks down. He admits he doesn't want to change. Mary tells him, then stay. But let me go. Before Clark can free her, a massive creature enters Pirate Clark, a giant, monstrous still-life version of Clark in his commercial costume. It's the Backroom's twisted memory of him. Pirate Clark attacks the real Clark, biting into his shoulder and killing him. Mary breaks free and runs through a nightmarish obstacle course of wind chimes, bottomless pits, and narrow corridors. She reaches a copy of Clark's furniture store, but the front door is just a wall. Pirate Clark corners her, but Mary smashes him in the face with her concrete handprint keepsake and escapes through a gap in the wall. On the other side, she runs straight into async workers in hazmat suits who gas her unconscious. Mary wakes up inside Async's research facility, built within the backrooms themselves. She passes a room containing Pirate Clark, now captured for study. A researcher named Phil sits her down and explains that Async has known about the backrooms for years. Doors to this dimension are opening everywhere and they can't stop it. As Phil talks, Mary zones out. We see a haunting montage. The backrooms are remembering everything from the film Mary's demolished childhood home, her therapy office, Clark's store, Bobby and Cart's missing posters, all copied, glitched, and absorbed into the maze forever. The final shot is a still life version of Mary, sitting alone in a copy of the interrogation room.